now, I want to, play in the NBA like anybody else would want to be. That's something I think about all the time, playing in the NBA.
He's just doing something that he loves so much. He just loves it so much, and I'm just happy for him.
If somebody can understand the way William played, that'll make me feel a lot better, I'll say, where they should have understood the way I played.
Is making his 7th All-Star appearance. From the New York Knicks, 6'1", Isaiah Thomas.
When I get in the NBA, first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go see my mama. I'm gonna buy a house. I'm gonna go there and make sure my sister and my brother's okay. Probably get my dad Cadillac Oldsmobile so he can cruise in the game.
He dreams about it. You look at those basketball commercials where they be advertising like these Nike shoes, and he tell his little small brother, Joe, that's me.
These are the voices of William Gates, Arthur Agee, and their families the summer before their freshman year of high school. Both dream of making it to the NBA. What follows is a 3-hour journey spanning 4 years of their lives as they try to rise out of poverty and achieve their dream. Hoop Dreams is a documentary released in 1994 and is directed by Steve James. The film was originally meant as a 30-minute documentary for PBS covering a specific playground. However, after meeting Gates, Agee, and their families, the crew made a decision to make a documentary chronicling the lives of these two young men. As the documentary begins, they are recruited from the playgrounds of the infamous Cabrini Green projects in Chicago, Illinois, to play for legendary high school basketball program and private school St. Joseph's, which is located in suburban Chicago. For William Gates, he becomes an instant star. He starts on the varsity squad immediately, something not even St. Joe's alum and NBA Hall of Famer Isaiah Thomas achieved, and acclimates himself to his new environment well. Arthur, on the other hand, is relegated to the freshman squad and struggles to adapt to the mostly white school environment, high academic standards, and eventually the partial tuition his family is responsible for. The latter ends up getting him kicked out of St. Joe's due to an unpaid balance his sophomore year. In the first clip, we hear a disheartened Arthur talk about having to leave St. Joe's. And in the second clip, we hear his public school counselor and public school coach explain the problems with him joining mid-year and what they think the issue really was with Arthur at St. Joe.
I had got called down to the office. Brother Leo wanted to talk to me. And he was telling me about how much certain money my mama had to pay for me to stay in school. And they said, if she don't have it by this time, you got to stay out till she pay it. And I was staying out like 2 and 3 weeks and stuff.
By the end of the freshman year, whatever balance there was for tuition was never taken care of. Consequently, going into the sophomore year, we had the balance plus the new tuition, so that it was going to continue to become a problem.
Whatever scout that they have come out to these different neighborhoods and scout out these little basketball players and get them to come to their school and offer them these scholarship. Then once they get out there, the story is totally different. I was under the impression that Arthur would have help as far as getting to school. Arthur would have help in getting his books. Arthur would have help. But see, none of that occurred.
Finally, with the Agees owing $1,500 in back payments, St. Joseph's forced Arthur to leave the school.
I thought Pinkerton and them would help me out, but
have to draw the line because, as I said, tuition is something that as a school we depend on for 90% of our revenue.
I guess he thought I wasn't gonna be that big of a ball player, so why would he just waste some money on me to stand there? Or he thought I wasn't gonna grow. He kept on saying like, "When you gonna grow?" or something like that. And I don't know.
If I had known all of this was gonna lead to this, Arthur would have never went to St. Joseph. I mean, if I had known that he was gonna have to go through this type of pain and myself, the anguish of it, and then to put him out in the middle of a school year.
And now, our second scene.
Arthur is accepted at the public high school near his home. He's been out of school for 2 months and lost a whole semester's credit.
Here you have a youngster caught in the middle of two separate school systems. Had he stayed at St. Joseph's, he would have been able to receive credit for that first semester. Doesn't seem fair, but then that's the system.
If he was going out there and he was playing like they had predicted him to play, he wouldn't be at Marshall. Economics wouldn't have had anything to do with him not being in St. Joe. Somebody would have made some kind of arrangement and the kid would have still been there. He's not making it like they thought he was going to make it on the basketball court, so he's not there. Simple as that. And it doesn't take no brilliant person to figure that out.
For the first 2 years of their high school careers, it seems William is going to be the one to make it. Unfortunately, a knee injury occurs in his sophomore year, and it ends up hurting him as he struggles to regain his freshman star form. The professional program style of St. Joe's, coupled with having a daughter during his junior year, causes the viewer to see William become somewhat disillusioned with basketball by the end of the film, despite getting a scholarship to attend Marquette University. Senior year, the light starts to shine on Arthur. He leads his public school, Marshall, to the state tournament. This is a dream that William and him wanted to achieve together at St. Joe's. And through this, he starts to find his own way. Our next two clips show the separate attitudes of these two individuals. First, we hear William's final talk with legendary basketball coach Gene Pingatore, where William seems dismissive of his time at St. Joe's, and the tension is palpable. Then we hear Arthur talking about going to the state tournament and how it was a dream of his and William's, but he is doing it now on his own at a public school.
When I had some real problems, I couldn't go to none of them about it. And I was having some problems with Catherine's family and my family, and I said, Coach Pingatore, they family been getting on me about, I'm not doing this and I'm not doing that. And the only thing Coach Pilcher could say is, write them off. That was all he told me. And I was like, what kind of advice is that?
Well, how does it feel to be finishing?
I mean,
Now, don't say anything you don't mean, William.
I'm serious, because I enjoyed my 4 years. We had run-ins and...
Who had run-ins?
Me and you.
We did?
Yeah, like that time you made me run 75 stairs.
You never forgot that.
Never.
See, you should have been happy and enthusiastic about doing your punishment. But someday you're going to learn that everything that was done was for your benefit, so that you can come back 4 years from now and say, Coach, you were right. Everything that happened at St. Joe's helped me a lot, and as a result, I got a degree. That's what I'm hoping for.
I'm going into communication, so when you start asking for donations, I know the right way to turn you down.
I'm sure you'll never turn us down. I never really felt that he bought into the system. He was never convinced what he was doing was the right thing to do. But overall, he had a good career. I had a great career. It's never goodbye. Could have been different if the injury didn't occur, but it did occur. Be in touch. And that was the big difference. I'm proud of what you did. I just expect you to do a lot better. I don't want this to be the highlight of your career. You got a lot of bigger and better things to do. I'll see you later. Good luck. Well, another one walks out the door, and another one comes in the door. That's what it's all about.
And now we hear from Arthur.
I always dream of like me and William taking them downstate together. When I was at St. Joseph, maybe we could have went downstate and maybe we couldn't, but we did when I'm at Marshall.
Arthur's big fourth quarter helps add Batavia to Marshall's growing list of upsets.
Spectacular comeback in the fourth quarter by the Commandos of...
In the post-game news conference, Coach Bedford labels his unranked team the Giant Killers.
This film changed documentaries forever. It led to Best Documentary becoming an Academy Award category after outcry that it wasn't nominated for Best Picture due to its documentary status. It was the highest grossing documentary of all time, making nearly $12 million at the box office. And Roger Ebert called it his film of the decade for the 90s. It addresses many issues: social economic standing, race relations, community effect on the youth, and most importantly, the sports recruitment of kids. This movie addresses all of these things through the hardships and tragedies both William and Arthur suffer and their families deal with. There were many scenes that I wanted to include in this review, but really wanted you to get a broad scope of the film so you could see it for yourself. These scenes include Arthur's family having their lights disconnected, Arthur's dad buying drugs on a playground while Arthur is playing basketball, William struggling to get the required ACT score to get into college, and his multiple knee surgeries. However, William and Arthur overcome these issues and excel. Not to spoil the film, but sadly, neither make it to the NBA. However, in a way, basketball does save them. They each receive $200,000 in royalties from the film following graduation from college. They could not get the payments while in college, or they would have to forfeit their amateur status. This payment allowed them to get out of their troubled neighborhoods, start families, and give their kids better than what they had. Although they did not achieve their hoop dream, it is safe to say the ultimate dream was achieved. Next week, grab your togas and get ready to shout, because the film we will be looking at is National Lampoon's Animal House. For WMNH and Matt Connarton Unleashed, this has been a classic film review with Erich Pilcher.
I'm just a young man with a dream, but the streets continue to test me like a full-court press, G. And I ain't even try to hit it, though. I'm gonna make it automatic like a free throw. See, in my neighborhood, the streets are low, but not to me. And I will not let the hood destroy my dreams. Well, dreams are made, they're broken. And I'm rolling as long as my jumper's struck. When you come hard and don't come at all, the only way to get props when we ball. Try to make my dreams come alive. First I must overcome other things to survive. 1 in 100,000 fulfill this dream, but it's the one I live and breathe. Just like when I rock the mic, you know the people listen. And it's like at the top of my game, I run like a piston. So no matter what you say, you better come early in the day. Just like this one I bring it like a Zaya. So it's up, been up, the way you got to come up with the rim with your game. When we play, boy, it ain't got nothing to do with the shoes or sport. Cause when I'm coming, I'm floating like Jordan. Don't know watch me get, cause on the court I'm considered to be the wicked. I said, don't know watch me get. come hard, they don't come at all. The only way they get props when we ball. Yeah, tried to make my dreams come alive. First I must overcome other things to survive. When I'm 100,000 fulfilled this dream, but it's the one that I live to breathe. With dreams are made and broke.